Hi, and welcome to another edition of a talk through the Kilmarnock music scene in possibly the warmest room in the Northern Hemisphere today. We're delighted to welcome big Craig Hammer Millar, our old pal, to the man cave today. Best known probably for last year's Men, Straw Dogs, loads of other things. So we're going to talk about to him about that today. Welcome, Craig. Nice to have you here.
Thank you, David.
Craig, see when you were young, did you always want to be in a band? And how did your musical career take off?
Well, for a young age, for a very young age, I used to, back at the school, I used to draw guitars and on my jotters when I was young and that. And it was and I just knew that's where I wanted to be.
And how did your musical career begin?
Well, to be quite honest with you, David, Big Pikey totally inspired me, right?
Good Arsenal fan.
Yeah, he's a good Arsenal fan, right? And I've said a lot about Big Davey, he totally inspired me, what a smashing player. And I watched him standing on the stage and goes you know what? And I've already told him that. I was he totally inspired me to play the bass. And I watched him and was like that, and I thought, you know what? That was my total inspiration. The old school skin he's and I was he can fucking, and it just it totally inspired me. I went back to my mammy and I was I want a bass. And I was and she was Big David McPike, he totally inspired me to play the bass.
And what were back then, what was your influences? What kind of stuff were you listening to?
At that time, I was probably stereotypical. It was we were into the old school, it was old school punk, old school skinhead, second wave skinhead, and I was a bit mad for it, and I couldn't see the wood for the trees. All I seen was Union Jack t-shirts, man, and I just saw the whole inspiration, and I just it was all about the skinheads. And then that died out, and then all the punk went underground, and it was and I was what the fuck's happened? And then, before you know it, Davey, it's all come back again. 30,000 people at Bellhausen Park, giving it some punk.
Who was the first band you played in, Craig?
Was the Cry.
The Cry. How did that come about?
Well, I just kind of got in touch with Barry and that, and the band wasn't even going, and I couldn't even play
that was you, Barry, and wee Tosha?
No, Craig Sheeran. Oh. I couldn't even play at that time. And then big Zazaza. and it was funny, I'm not joking, it's funny, I used to you remember that big Zazaza? I used to take my bass amp in a trolley out to his house on the bus. And he showed me because beforehand, right, I was playing Hoggy and that, and we're doing this kind of skin thing, and the next thing, Big Zazaza came along and he showed me how to play.
Wasn't it Rush by any chance, was it?
No, at that particular point it was near Rush. And then he just came along, right, and then we became total friends, and he just lit my world up musically. Because I was playing with people that weren't capable. And then Big Zazaza came along.
Typical Barry, you meet 25 years later, you're friends.
Right, and the thing is as well, we're still here, right? Big Zazaza. And he taught me how to play. And totally disciplined me.
What's the memories of your early gigs? What memories do you have of them?
Some of these shows was great. They were great.
What kind of stuff were you playing then?
It was just all out punk. Because I couldn't get out of that whole punk thing. And then I remember Big Zaza made these cabinets with the God Save the Queen thing, and they're all flashing lights and that out of stickwood and it was fucking brilliant, right? It's brilliant. And the thing is as well, Davey, and it goes back to the thing, and Kenneth Mack always says that for Hateful. We pioneered the punk cover thing. We were the first people to do that. And probably the last people to do it. And I can just remember and it was It was great.
Craig, the first time I met you was the first last year's men gig. How did that come about? How did that band come about?
Well, that was like a reincarnation of like the original Last Year's Men, which was like Liam, Kevin McIntosh, our original band. It came about like, and we actually went and did, and like he put a show together, and he says like, "What are we going to call ourselves?" He goes, "We'll call ourselves Last Year's Men," which was fine, right? And of course we done the whole thing. It was a total sellout show, and then because Tosh being Tosh, who we're still in touch, love him to bits, he spat the proverbial dummy out, and we decided we just keep it going.
You've promoted a lot of big bands, Craig, getting Stiff Little Fingers and The Damned and that. Was that something you always wanted to get into?
Well, no, really. It just kind of happened. The Kilmarnock music scene was kind of dying, and then like I was getting in touch with people like that, and I was like, you know, and it was really hard, David, to actually get. It like took me like 7 months to even get to talk to the tour manager and stuff like that. And like the next thing you know, we'll get fingers, and then we got a studio, which was like difficult. And then the next thing you know, and the studio, the promotions was holding the studio up. It was paying the bills. And the next thing you know, we had the Stiff Little Fingers at the Grand Hall, and it was fucking sold out. And it was like, wow.
And then The Damned, of course, we didn't take the pillar rooms, so we kind of cut the capacity about 404. Remember that? It was crazy.
And then it just went to there, and then you get the thirst for it. And it was like, sitting there like that, and then the Damned and stuff brought all these big bands, and like I was pretty bowled over, and like we did the Damned and that as well, and like Dave Vane and that, and I was like, all right, Dave. And he was like, you know, and Yasmin, junior promoter, she says, I'll take him up to the hotel and that, Dad, and like, and it was magic, and like, and Captain Central, and they were all brilliant, and it was so really, really nice to meet like actual rock and roll stars that were actually like real people. I kind of got the thirst for it, and then moving forward, and then I lost a lot of money.
You lost a lot of money through the gigs?
Through promoting.
How did that happen? Because the gigs were busy.
But then I decided Infinite Wisdom, right? So we did the Machine Gun Etiquette tour with the Damned at the garage. It was magic, right? It was brilliant.
I was there.
And then we did and then we'll do the Damned again, right? And we'll do the Vibrators and the subs and that. And I say to my ex-wife, I said, don't worry about it, darling. I'm all right. I'll bring the money home for Christmas, right? And we lost like fucking $3,000, like over 2 days. And I'm like saying to the said ex-wife, the delectable Linda, I was like, don't worry about it, darling. I'll bring the money in. And I was like, holy fuck, man. So I lost $3,000 over 2 days. And then we're doing the Wicker Man and stuff like that, like, and it was like the losses were like more than the gains.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then I started to lose friends through the promotions, right? And I made a lot of mistakes. I did make a lot of mistakes.
You were learning as you were going along.
I did make a lot of mistakes, right? I did make a lot of mistakes, but I learned a lot.
Is that something you would go back into? Or is your experience of that,
Well,
you off it?
to be quite honest with you, like, I was supposed to be doing the Conflict gig. And then
Sadly.
and like I had to pass that over because of health reasons and stuff like that. And like because my big mate, Stuart and that, I was only doing it for him, like, and it was just...
Stuart Meadows, drummer.
So it was a very good friend of mine, and it was too much pressure. So I passed the gig on because I'm trying to run my own bit. It was too much pressure. And then sadly, Colin, who's a lovely guy, like an absolutely fantastic guy, like we sat, the pleasure to sit in his company, and like a big, massive, like Conflict Crass fan and stuff like that, and like that, and like sat in his company, and it was like it's iconic, and I decided like it's too much pressure for me, so we've passed that over, and sadly, He's no longer with us.
Yeah. That's quite a shock, wasn't
It was a shock.
Back to last year's Men and that, Craig. What was your kind of favourite places to play back in the day? I mean, there are a lot of great gigs.
Well, finding big gaslights for one, right? Like it was magic. The big bozzles as well. It was fucking magic, right? And it was like, and they used to have like, it was just like, it was fantastic, right? And like my brother's ex-wife, she go out of that. She says, I used to get running on the spot and all that, like, and it was magic, right? And it was always rammed. For last year's Men, it was totally rammed. And
It certainly was.
it always rammed.
And the nights in the Bond and all.
And the bond and
Fantastic
stuff
night.
like that.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to Billy Kiltie. Like I done a PA for him, like, and like, but my favourite memories of all the gigs was Finding Big Gaslights, and it was like always rammed, and like sometimes you go in and like it was like half empty, but when we played, it was always rammed.
It's great to see you opening again.
Definitely. Definitely. And see, just off the top of my head, the Straw Dogs, last year's Men, The Cry, Rumblefish. What's been your favourite out of them all?
Well, I think it's going to have to be Straw Dogs
I agree.
because, like, and of course, like Uncle D, right? He says, "I'm the only singer, right?" And like, and the thing is, and I tried my best to put that back together, but like, couldn't replace Uncle D. You could not replace it. Some of the gigs that we played was fucking fantastic.
And do you want to do it again?
I'm an old man now. I'm kind of.
It's got to be, and the thing is, it's got to be. We played so many great shows, like, and we did a reunion gig, right? We did that thing with Uncle D, right? And it was brilliant. It was brilliant, and it's like, and it made me so happy.
How has music changed you?
It's part of my life. It's like I look back when I was like 12, sitting drawing guitars in my jotter, and I can always remember, right, when back in the day, like, we used to go to the shows at Scott Ellis, and my brother was a thrill seeker, and I used to like sit and stare at the guitars and that. And my mother used to like to pull me, my dad used to pull me back to the hair and go like, "Come on, you!" And she's like, "Look at you," because you could never win the guitars. You needed like 10 points to win the guitar, and there only was 9 points in the ball. And I was like, "Did I want a guitar? I want a guitar." And then when he died, my mummy got me a guitar.
And that was the start of my wonderful
And
career.
that's the start of something fantastic.
Aye.
And going on to that, I'm sure there's a few, but what has been your musical highlight?
Well,
Of all the things you've done, you've put bands on, you've
my
played
musical
with
highlight was
bands.
when we did the Liquor Man in the Tent, right? And Uncle D, I think he spat the dummy at a particular point, right?
Oh, that's right. Aye. I think I was on holiday.
He spat the dummy out, right? And like, and Barry stepped in, and like, and the thing is as well, David, it was even funny, right? And like, I rigged it, right? I totally rigged it. I was like, I went in like that, and fucking like, booted the fucking the power cable out, and I fired the whole festival. And the next thing in the tent is like doing like I said they couldn't. I rigged that, right?
And that's a highlight.
No, but the thing is, the time they got it all back together and everything like recombined, the next thing you know, we played to like, I don't know how many, fucking 3,000 people that night. And they go, "I don't know what happened to the power. I fucking rigged it." And I'm like,
You've made a long-awaited album with Hammer and the Saltwater Crocodiles. How did that come about?
well, that actually came about like, because like, I'd like moved away from the guys that I loved playing me, and like things happen, etc., etc. And I decided, infinite wisdom, like, to like move forward and try and, I was interested in folk music and stuff like that. And it took me like 10 years. I wrote the songs 10 years ago, and like, and it took me all this time to get this released. And it's like, it's totally like what I totally feel, what I felt at the time, what I feel about, and all the circumstances. And I'm really looking forward, and the album's getting released next week.
Oh, good.
And I'm looking forward to like let people listen to that. Make it snappy.
And you've wrote all the songs?
Yes.
Unnecessary is a great song.
Except for one.
Aye. What one?
Thin Lizzy.
Oh, a classic.
Because that was like one of my friends, he gave me that song, right, and it was a bit of a mishmash, right, and I sorted it all out.
Who was that?
My mate Stevie. And he gave me that, but it was a bit of a mishmash, right, and I changed a lot of stuff about it and like made it, and of course, the Wizard of Boz needs no introduction.
No.
So, and it took me 10 years, right? I wrote all these songs 10 years ago. And it's took me like 10 years to actually get it released. And I'm really looking forward to like put my own music out.
You're going to put it out on all the platforms like Amazon and...
I'm going to try. I'm going to get my wee super niece, wee Nicole, for the Stepman Violets, man, the wee super niece, and she's going to help me. Because she's a magic musician as well. And like, she's going to help me.
They sound as if they're making a wee bit of noise.
They are making a bit of noise.
Doing all right, aren't they?
They're doing
Aye.
fine. And the thing is, back to Stepman Violets, wee Collie Pie, it was like, she was young and that, I was teaching her the bass, and she goes, I can't do it, Uncle Hammer, I can't do it. I was like, you can do it. There you go. Right, and I drilled it into her. And like, and they're magic, Stepman Violets, and one to watch.
I've seen them a few times.
One to watch, you know, like, so I've got high hopes, right, and obviously I'm getting it, but high hopes. And I'm going to release another EP, Kill It, Skin It, Cook It, Eat It.
What's that? Who did you say what it's called?
Kill It, Skin It, Cook It, Eat It.
You got to say it fast, didn't you? I can't think I can say that. That's quite good though. I like that.
I've been writing some new songs and that, and I've said to the Wizard of Boz, like, I give him all this mishmash, right? He goes, fucking hell, Hammer. I give him all this mishmash, and he sorts it all out.
That's what I used to do as well. He used to fire it over to me. He loves that twiddling about with stuff, doesn't he?
So, and like, it's totally gave me the inspiration, right? And like, to be honest with you, Davey, right? For me personally, right? The fact that I've actually got an album that can release, and I'm proud of it. I knew it's giving me the inspiration.
Oh, you should be. You should be proud of it.
Kill It, Skin It, Cook It, Eat It is the next one.
I take away our island, take away our drinks. I take away our dignity, the truth is what it means. Take away our freedom, try it if you dare. The children are strangers, but do you really care? No lies, no facts, gonna raise an anchor, take away our roots. No lies, no bank is gonna raise the anchor, rip the family feud.
What's different in the music scene nowadays than the days when you first started? Do you think it's better or worse?
It's worse. It's totally worse.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
It's totally worse, right? And the thing
What's the
is,
reason for that?
well, I think maybe the government and see that fucking COVID 32. That was just a total farce, man. Like people would stay in the house and that, they want to govern you and stuff like that. We're punks, we're anarchists, and we're like, fuck off. And like they've just killed the whole. And the thing is as well, you guys didn't the walk around the Kilmarnock music scene,
Yeah.
and it was totally destitute. All these bands,
That's true.
all these bands, David, all these bands used to come to Kilmarnock. And like all the guys like Kevin, I go on to Killie, man. It was always jumping. It was jumping for live scene. All of a sudden, it's a dead town. How are we going to get that back?
Well, that's one of the reasons we're doing this video as well, is to try and encourage people and get things moving again if we can.
See when Craig's saying that, Ken,
He's right.
when I think about the video now, I think to myself, Ken, this is where this used to be, this is where this used to
He's
be,
100%
this is where
right.
this used to be.
Aye.
It's pretty sad.
Yeah,
Pretty
you watch
sad.
it, that's exactly
It's
it.
horrible.
That's exactly
It's
it.
horrible.
Right.
Because all these bands from Glasgow used to always come down to Kilmarnock to play, and all of a sudden there's no one left to play. And then, Fanny it opened up, right? They've opened up, right? Like, it's $3,000 a month for that, and they need to go something.
Right.
And it's like, the price of the drink and that, and it's just like the whole, I think it's just a sign of the times, David.
It's Glasgow's so easy,
But you would
accessible
think
now, innit?
in time, things would get easier for bands and more bands would come, but we were talking to Stuart about the penetrations. See, back then, he wrote a list with about 30 venues all in Kilmarnock.
Exactly.
Where is there now?
And Glasgow.
Sandrian, all this stuff.
Aye.
Remember our Thursday night in the Sandrian?
It's mobbed.
Our Thursday night in the Sandrian was like, you go out, what are you doing, right? Well, I'm with the Sandrian. And the mighty pens and that, and the place was like rammed on a Thursday night. And like, the whole thing, the wheat sheaf and that, and all this stuff, and like, and I went through, see when you did the walk through the music scene, I walked through that and I felt really sad because it was vibrant. It was vibrant at that time.
And I think that's portrayed in the video, especially when we were at the Belfield Tavern, Ken, because it was such a good
That
place.
was heartbreaking. And Amanda and Bill, they did so much
they
for
were
the
brilliant.
music scene. They were brilliant, right? And then the next thing you know, and Gav Lindsay and that, and they did all the stuff, right? They brought all the stuff in, and the next thing you know, they opened a restaurant. And then the restaurant never happened. And they boys like put all that money in and they lost everything. And like they lost everything and like they
Never got a chance. COVID hit.
they never got a chance.
That's the
They
place.
lost everything, right? And I walk by that, David. I walk by that place. Every time I drive by that place, and I just look back and it just makes me feel sad.
It makes you feel like green, doesn't it? You walk, you go by it. It's just,
And see the
It's all spray painted and it's all like derelicts. And like Amanda Gilchrist, she's done so much for
Undoubtedly.
undoubtedly, aye. Brilliant.
she's one of my biggest critics.
Is she?
But one of my best pals too.
Well, how does she criticise you for?
Just for like, as you do, you know, like.
Amanda just says it like it is. She's a very honest
Exactly.
person.
But she was like, done so much for the Kilmarnock music scene.
Undoubtedly.
An absolute start. And it's like, see before they left, right? I actually I went and got a family material with Sith Little Fingers. And before they went, I says, Amanda, there's a wee present for you, darling.
He's that thoughtful, isn't he?
She came and she said, I've set on my vinyl, but cheers, Hammer. Because I total respect for her. Total respect, like absolutely total respect for what she done for the music scene.
That was the busiest pub on a Saturday night in Kilmarnock.
Absolutely.
Ken, because some nights, Ken, it was right up to the door.
People came from all near and far.
Folk from Edinburgh come down a lot.
Exactly.
East Coast.
Folk from here and
South.
exactly. Because and I wish her all the better.
Reputation for good music, a reputation for being a safe pub as well. You know,
Bill's living the dream. He's the Bill and Carlos. Like he's jumping about with the guitar. You know, and he's brilliant. Like, and
he still supports your brother.
no, but it doesn't matter how you support it. But that's brilliant, and everything I see them go out. By the way, they're lovely people.
Oh, they are.
Lovely people.
Absolutely.
And a massive loss to the music scene.
Oh, undoubtedly.
A massive loss.
Yeah.
Did you think you'd still be playing music in your 50s?
Well, not really. But I'm blessed.
That's true. That's true. You're doing what you enjoy.
I'm blessed. I'm still playing. And like, quite honest with you, I'm playing the best bass I've ever played in my life. You know? And I'm still learning. And I teach the kids in that as well. I take a wee class if I can get some students in that as well. And they come in, right, and they come in with their tabs and all that, and we're like, we just throw that out the window, going, here's your tabs. And like, I've not got a class now, like, but I love teaching the kids in that as well, and I love teaching people that want to learn.
What's your plans for the future?
Well, I think, like...
Before you answer that, Ian, I'd like to know this question myself. What's it like playing with Barry Meehan?
It's absolutely fantastic.
The guy's a genius.
The guy is fantastic. Like the guy is,
He's a brilliant musician.
he's
A wild card, but what a guy.
he's fantastic.
I love
and,
Barry.
And Ditch as well was a no time like that. He done a couple of tours when I was doing that folk stuff and
That's
that.
just a brilliant guy.
And Uncle B, the guy, he's a hard taskmaster though.
Oh, again, yeah.
Well, you always came where you stand with me, but
He's a perfectionist,
Aye,
he's a perfectionist.
He goes like that, shakes his big head.
So what's the plans with Rumblefish?
Well, Uncle B always says, like, he was like, I don't play cover, man. Like, we're going to hopefully try and play a few gigs. And, like, we're really good. Like, we're rocking. And, like, and it's like, I just, like, want to play music. And, like, I'm totally blessed to actually being, like, playing with a guy like Uncle B. Well, he ripped us off a new arsehole last night in the studio. He goes like that and shakes his big head.
I hope you don't mind, Craig, but I've got to promote this book, and it's Henry Clooney's new book. This is actually the first edition. I've got the second edition in the first, and I'm going to read a wee bit out it. It says here, just before I quit, he informed me that a guy from Scotland had contacted me and said he was trying to get hold of me. I have no idea how he tracked Bob down or how he knew we were playing together, but I called him, and it turned out he was in a Stiff Little Fingers tribute band called Straw Dogs. He wanted to know if I'd be interested in going on tour with them. Initially, I thought it would probably be a lot of fun, but the more I considered it, the more uneasy I felt about performing in my own tribute band. Carol and me were discussing it one day and jokingly came to the conclusion that it should have been called Tribute to S, then in a wee E in brackets, LF. In the end, I turned the offer down. Tell us a wee bit about that. What was the plan?
Well, right, so it's funny. It's funny you should say that, right? So, of course, like, everything fell apart, right? At that particular point, suddenly falling apart, right? Totally fell apart, right? And Henry Clooney, he was away in America, like, doing nothing, right? I was like promoting that. I was like, working with the damn touring agent and that stuff like that. And I tracked him down to some gaudy church in America somewhere. Go talking to him, etc., etc. Put the offer on the table. The next thing you know, the guy that was put the promoter for the Damned, next thing you know, he's put them on an acoustic tour. And they basically kicked the legs for me. It was supposed to be Henry Clooney and the Straw Dogs. And what I wanted to do was, I wanted him to do his own songs. I wanted like kicking up a racket and like some of his songs was fantastic, right? And he declined the offer. The next thing you know, he's back touring, and the next thing you know, XSLF is gone.
Do you think you planted a seed there?
I did plant a seed because he was sitting in like some church hang in America, no doing nothing. Uncle H. And the next thing you know, and fair play, I've got to mention in his book, but I've hardly been like, I tracked him down. I tracked him down.
How did you manage to film?
It took me like, I don't know, about 7 or 8 months. And like, I found...
You actually contacted the guy he was playing with?
No, I found him in like this, some church hang, like, and he was sitting in America, like, and like, no doing anything. And then he's back touring again. And like, and I credit myself with that.
Undoubtedly.
I'm no particularly happy, but I'm delighted he's back playing because the guy's a fucking total star, man.
A legend.
What a nice and lovely guy, right?
And very down to earth.
Down to earth.
Every time I go to Belfast, we usually go out for a meal with Henry and Avi and Glenn, and they're just that down to earth. Again, you just think so. I used to watch him Top of the Pops, and
he was sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be Henry Clooney and the Straw Dogs.
And that'd have been a great coup for.
That would have been a great coup, right? Fuck Monroe.
You definitely planted a seed there. Well,
and the next thing you know, he was like, he's back touring again, which I love. And he's a lovely guy. And like, I'm like, yeah, he's a kind guy. And it's great to see him playing.
Yes. I have a lot of time for Henry. He's such a
nice guy.
Cool guy.
Harvey Clooney.
From the poster of the last ever gig at the
last gig in 1982.
Who supported him that night?
The Alarm.
That was the Alarm.
That was the first gig I went to. Harvey Clooney.
I used to have the poster, but I don't know where it is now. Craig Millar, as always, old pal, it's been a pleasure.
Cheers, pal.
Thank you so much.